Parkland, USA, welcome. Welcome back to another edition of Running on Retail, your quick monthly update on everything that's happening retail. We want to make sure you know the great successes we've had, what's coming up, and what you need to know to be successful. So kicking it off this time is going to be Jeff Bush. Jeff is our Vice President of Retail. And Jeff, welcome.
Well, hey, thanks, Laura. I appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. So there has been a lot of great things happening with retail. Why don't you just start off, fill us in on some of the recent successes since the last time we spoke about a month ago?
Yeah, I appreciate it. That's a great question, great way to start. So there's been a lot of things. So first and foremost, we've talked a lot about price book and products and merchandising. A big win is we have cleaned up all the categories on price book, and that really sets the foundation for us to do proper planning and space planning and merchandising our stores, getting the right products, getting them priced right, and make sure we're giving the customers what they expect every single day, right? and that's a big one because it sets the foundation for us to move strong into other categories, like the other big win, which is food service. And man, the team has just been grinding on food service, and I'm so excited to talk about it. We got a lot of big things coming, but I'll talk about sort of the first phase as we're moving into it. And we started our first test store down in Florida. And to give you a background of what it takes to get a test store going is we got to focus on nutrition labeling and pricing and the hard work, like tasting a bunch of different foods and seeing what tastes good and what we should sell and all those things. A lot of pricing work, a lot of market, research and understanding our competitors and those sort of things. But big drum roll excitement. We rolled a store out, the very first one down in Florida with our new Food 1.0 concept. And we had an unbelievable first day. So we had some expectations our first day, what we thought that might look like. And not only did we blow away our expectations, we over doubled what we thought the sales were going to be, which is just phenomenal. And I got to tell you, it's a lot of hard work, but not only the team that's developing food service, Jared Morrill and Brian Solinger, but especially the team down in Florida, the operations team, Alex and Olga, and the folks in the store, and our field merchandiser Teresa down there, and Jorge and that whole team have just done a phenomenal job at taking this program and really running with it and executing it well. And we still got a lot of work to do, focus on safety and food safety and those sort of things. But man, what a big win! I mean, that's just so exciting. And we're still keeping that regional flair, but we got some really good products down there. And the last thing I'll bring up is, we've been doing a lot of store rides, getting out in markets over the past couple of months, myself and Jay and a lot of the executive team. I know people have probably seen us a little too much, but it's been a lot of fun getting out there and seeing everybody. And we got a real big focus on training that's coming up. And we've been, doing a lot of cool things. And I know Michelle Andreessen and a lot of those folks are out there really helping out, giving people the training they want. And I think that's a huge win because for us, it all starts at the store level. It all starts with every customer interaction and the work that's been going into making sure that, our employees have the training they need and the experience they need and the understanding they need to serve our customers every day and every single transaction in a really, sort of successful way. We're just really excited about that. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say how much of a win it is for all the work those folks are doing.
Well, congratulations to everybody on food service. I mean, that is really phenomenal. And I think just a sliver of what can become on a national basis with all of our stores. So congratulations. I know there's so much work that goes in behind the scenes before you get to that first day. So that's wonderful. Well, switching gears a little bit, I know you just got back from NACS. NACS is one of the largest and arguably probably one of the most influential, significant retail trade shows throughout the whole year. So would love to know what you learned, what you saw there, and what may be applicable for Parkland.
Well, first, huge shout out to you, Laura, and to a bunch of the other Parklanders, because I mean, it might as well have been the Parkland show. It was unbelievable. We were everywhere, from EV to ESG to, Doug's presentation on mobility, Christy Elliott talking about our future plans, Robert's talking about data strategy. I mean, you don't know how good it feels to go to a show that big, the largest in the nation, and then to see Parkland everywhere. It was unbelievable. Our store designs were there. Our food partners were showing off what we're doing. Our technology partners showing off what we're doing. I mean, it was kind of crazy. So really big shout out to the team. I mean, everybody that works at Parkland needs to just understand and realize how successful, sort of our work is. I know sometimes day in and day out, it's kind of like, where are we going with this? But you see what's happening, and it's really impressive, what this whole team has done. So that for one, was the big takeaway for me. I mean, it's just amazing what Parkland's done and where we were and where we're going, and we have a lot in front of us. The second thing I'll tell you, a lot of cool technology out there. Self checkout is really evolving. There's some really neat things. Some of us got to experience it in market and then see sort of the new iterations of it at NACS. And there's some really cool things between walkout technology and real-time scanning technology, where you basically put your products on a basket and then there's a camera that can recognize all the products, so you're not scanning them individually, that's really cool if you think about that and where we're at with the self-checkout. So that's neat, and we're definitely exploring that. Got to see some great updates with Price Advantage. I know our folks are using it, and Price Advantage is really looking forward to working with them on training and taking that to the next level with strategy and development on Price Advantage, our retail pricing tool, which is great. And then I'll tell you one of the other things. Of course, there's always new food products. I mean, and there was tons of new food products. And seeing some of the regional flair start to become mainstream is really cool for us, because we're in a lot of places. And so we have a lot of regional flair, and that only helps our whole organization, seeing folks starting to pick up on, different regional flair items. And so that was pretty neat. And the last thing I'll leave you with that was pretty cool. And I some of this I'll say it's going to be some surprise as we explore it, but a lot of training programs out there. Some of our great partners at RTO and the training videos were showing off some new things that were coming. And so we're really excited to continue to work on training and, really focus on what we can do to just continue to keep delivering for our employees.
Well, I really appreciate the emphasis on training. It certainly warms my heart, but we understand that we're doing a lot on the retail side, and we've got to have the training behind it so that people really know what they're doing and can do it to the best of their ability. So we are planning on continuing to invest a lot in training in the future, and there is some really great things going on out there that help us with that.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, you mentioned we got a long runway, so tell us what are you focused on now?
Yeah, so OTR conversions continue, and they're going well. And, we're now getting to a point where we're seeing OTRs starting to develop in every rock, which is super exciting. And so our goal is to have what we consider basically the flagship OTR site in every single rock, to at least have one over the next few months, so people can start seeing what the future of On the Run looks like. And so super excited for that. As you talked about, Laura, a lot of people doing a lot of work there. You got folks like Freddie in the Southeast Rock, all through the merchandising team, Jay, and I mean, everybody in the team in some form or function really has input on how we do our conversions. We're working on great designs and really some forward-looking stuff, which is pretty awesome. I just love being a part of a company where we're so innovative, and we're looking at not where's the industry today, but where's the industry going, and molding our sites and our vision around that. So that's really exciting. And those numbers are looking really good, and we got a big batch of On the Run stores for next year, so that's going to be fun too. I'll tell you the other thing too. When we talk about where we're going, I kind of want to revert back to food service, because it's such a big part of our business moving forward. Our goal is to get 100 stores redeveloped into this Food 1.0 program. And so that means that we're going to be focusing on, not only getting the products out to you, that essentially becomes the easy part, but getting the training, the safety training, the execution, menu cards. We want this to be so simple to execute. We want the food to be something that customers just seek us out for. And we want to basically become strong enough to be known as almost like a restaurant inside our stores. So that's a real big focus for us. We talked about the merchandising pieces. It's kind of a snooze fest to some folks, but it's negotiation season. So that's always fun for us, because that means we can try to get better supply, better products, better pricing, get new products, new and innovative products that our customers are looking for. So big focus on that. And then the other thing I'll tell you is that, a real big focus on building these champions inside of our rocks. And I don't want to steal the thunder. I know Jay's going to talk a lot about that, but we're really focused on training. And I know you're going to hear that word a million times, but because it's become something that's so core and near and dear to all of our hearts, that we're really focused on how do we give the education that everybody deserves out there and everybody wants and needs. And we got a lot of focus on it. And you pick an avenue at Parkland, and there's a plan for us to develop training around it. And so I'll leave you guys guessing until Jay kind of tells you what the plan is, but it's really exciting, and we're super excited for everybody to be a part of it.
One last question. You talked about the OTR conversions. How many do you think we will have by the end of this year?
Yeah, so we'll at least get 22. We might get more. Permitting is a bear no matter where we operate, and so we'll work through those things as they come. But we're at least shooting for that number, potentially more. So just keep your eyes open. There's an OTR coming near you soon.
That is perfect. Thank you so much, Jeff. And all of this stuff that you talked about help us get to our overall vision, which is building and sustaining a national top tier retail brand and customer experience in every way. So thank you for all that you and your whole teams are doing. And we will talk next month and see how everything is continuing along. Next, we're going to talk to Jay Erickson. Jay is our Chief Operating Officer, and he and his team are the boots on the ground implementing and running all the great things that Jeff and his team are building for us. So let's turn it over to Jay.
Thanks, Var.
Welcome, Jay. Glad you're joining us.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here today.
So there have been a lot of successes. Jeff touched on a few of those, but would love to hear your perspective on what are some of the recent successes the retail team has enjoyed of late.
Yeah, well, great question. Before I get to that, I just really want to call out some awesome things that occurred last week with Hurricane Ian. Unfortunately, as I'm sure most know, that we had a hurricane that hit Florida, and I just can't say enough about the great efforts of our team. During Hurricane Ian, proud that all of our associates are safe. Amazing job by our GM, Jorge Padilla, and his awesome team that works down there. What they did is they really took care of our associates, they took care of our customers, and they took care of our communities, and they continue to take care of our communities. I'm hearing so many great stories about how they're donating fuel and really helping people as they rebuild down there. So just wanted to start with that and say thank you to the team, and just really proud of everything that was done down there.
Thank you so much for that. Couldn't agree more. It was a great display of community and teamwork and leadership all the way around, and love that everyone was safe and weathered through.
Yeah, it really goes to show you how great Parkland is, and when events like this happen, how the team comes together, and we really are one Parkland.
Couldn't agree more. Well, switching to retail metrics, I know that we've really heard a lot from the DMs and store managers that they would love to know more about what are the revised kind of goals for them to be laser focused on. And I believe you've helped create some of those, and we'll be rolling those out soon. You want to share some information?
Yeah, good progress on that. So, thanks to Jeff Bush and to Robert Donald and the reporting team, what we're really doing is creating a dashboard. And so we want to, instead of focusing on 100 items, we really want to focus on like 3 to 5. And so the first 3 items that we're really focusing on is store sales. So store sales is so important because if you're growing sales, you're getting more people to come in and buy stuff from you. It's really a good health of the business. And so we really want to grow store sales. Gallons. So the other half of our business is, we sell stuff inside the store, backcourt, forecourt, fuel. So it's growing the store gallons. And so those are the first 2. And then overtime, really looking at our labor and saying, are we managing our overtime to the best that we can? And I know it's a tough environment out there, but are we managing that? So the 3 things we're really focusing on is sales, gallons, and overtime. That'll be our first 3 metrics. And what the team is working on is being able to put it, and thanks to IT group with Roy and team, is to have a dashboard that's on the back office that has all of those metrics. And even another metric, which would be, the paperwork status. So a lot of times the paperwork doesn't go up. And so we'll be able to see, has your paperwork come in for your store, and what are your 3 top metrics, so that's refreshing on a daily basis. So you always know kind of where you stand with your store on those top 3. And we'll add more as we grow and evolve. But the first 3 will be those. Couple of things are, if it's okay, hopefully I won't take too much time, Laura, is I'm just proud of the team and all the successes that we've had over the last month since we talked last. We got Price Advantage now really fully implemented, and the fuel team is doing such a great job there. They went to a Price Advantage user conference and really learned from some of the best. And so they're bringing in these feeds, these Opus feeds. And so what it will do is it'll complement when we go out and do the surveys. And so we get a feed in from what other retailers are selling fuel at. So we go out and web scrape, as well as we get a feed that comes in. And so that's really going to help us better understand truly where all of our competitors are pricing, so that we can price competitively. Our Titan Cloud, which is our environmental program, it's we have over 600 tanks now that we're monitoring. And so why that's important is because, first of all, we don't want our stores to run out of fuel. And second of all, if we get water or we get something into the tanks, we want to be able to act on that quickly. And so we're being able to monitor that now. And that really helped when we went through the hurricane, because we were selling so much fuel so quickly. It allowed the supply teams to know immediately that they needed to get a delivery to that store. Some other fun stuff that we're doing, self-checkouts. So the IT team and Michelle and Reason from our training have got a pilot up and going on our self-checkouts. The self-checkouts are really important because, as we know, we have a labor shortage. People want to get in, get out quickly, and people are really asking that we have a self-checkout option. So far that's going great, and over the next couple of months we'll have a few more pilots. And I think we have about 27 stores worth of equipment that will be rolling out hopefully over the next quarter. Updated Red Book. So proud of the ROMs and Michelle for continuing to update that Red Book. And it's important that we have one standard way to do everything across the stores. And then Michelle worked with Nick Lynch on the car washes, and now we have a new Red Book for the car washes. So lots of good, fun things are occurring, and hopefully it's helping everyone. And last but not least, we've got to talk about TrueFill. TrueFill is now fully implemented. We're continuing to add some things to it, but kudos to Jim Story and his group, and all the branches and all the stores for helping us get TrueFill up and going. But yeah, lots of amazing stuff that we're doing every month. And just want to say thank you to all the people. I know I missed a ton of people, but thank you, and I appreciate all their help.
Those really are some incredible successes, Jay. Thank you for sharing those. Well, Jeff talked a good bit about training and the importance of training and some things that's being done on the food service side. Can you also speak to the district manager leadership training? Because there's some things in the works on that.
Yeah, really excited about this. As you know, Laura, I'm a big advocate of training, and that's training at all levels. I feel like we can all get better. We can all become better by learning and using the training that's provided. And so yes, we have a big effort to get all of our DMs through this leadership training, which is really kind of a phase 1, phase 2. We were going to have it in person, but as everyone knows, our country, our world, there's a war going on in Ukraine, possibly potentially going into an unfavorable climate with possible recession, raising interest rates. I think yesterday I looked at the home loan is like at 6.75, which, gosh, I can't remember it being that high. And so the economy's slowing down, which is exactly what they're trying to do with inflation. But we just felt like it was prudent to, let's do this online. Let's be as efficient and just be cautious with how we're spending our money. And we want to get the training done, but we want to do it online to save some money, just so that, as we're going into the fourth quarter into next year, really watching that. But I'm excited about the training. We're going to do it online virtually through Teams. Phase 1 will be virtual. Hopefully phase 2, we could have it in person, and it'll be sometime in 2023. But, we're really going to be focusing on the retail KPIs, scorecards, store audits, revised job descriptions, the DM structure, red books, so it's really two half days of an intense training. But it's important, it's important that we make an investment in our people, that we help people get better in their roles. And so I think it's the right thing to do. And unfortunately, we can't do it in person this time, but hopefully in phase 2, we can.
Perfect. And you mentioned the investment in training. That's also what the RTO training is about as well. So you want to give an update on where we are with that training?
Yeah. Firm believer in that, we can't ask people to do training that we wouldn't do ourselves. And so I'm very, very proud to report that all of our district managers and all of our regional managers have now completed 100% of the training. Training is so important because what it does is it helps us with, being safer. taking care of our customer, really providing the right things so that as we look at our company and evolve and become that top tier organization that we inspire to be, the only way we're going to do it is by making investments in our people and training, giving them the training to be the best. And so, I encourage you out there, if you haven't done the training, or maybe you're a little bit behind on the training, please try to work it in, get it done, because it's going to make you better. It's going to make our stores better, and ultimately it's going to make us a better operator because of it.
Thanks, Jay, for that. Talk a little bit too about the uniform pilot that is underway in some of our stores.
Yeah, so many of you probably have heard me talk about the fact that we had, gosh, Laura, what was it, like 13 or 14 different manufacturers, and we were buying uniforms from all over the places, and what our goal is to really a couple things. First of all, make it easy for people to get uniforms. So we want our associates to be in uniforms so that when people come in, they know who works in the store, they know who to ask with questions and things like that. So we want to have one supplier that has an online portal that has a one-stop shop that you can get all the uniforms and things that you need. Second of all, we want to be able to do it so that we're efficient, so that as we buy together, we can get more uniforms at a better price. We can have them available quicker so that when somebody starts, they can have them day one. So, whether we're ordering on the website or we have a bunch that's in the branch offices or in the stores, but we want to make it very, very easy for people to get uniforms. And second of all, and third of all, we just want to make sure that we get back to our communities. And so the vendor that we've chosen gives 50% of their profits back to charity, and we get to pick that charity. And so to me, it's kind of a win-win-win, because we get uniforms quicker, we get a better price, and we get back to our communities. And so so the update on it is that we have 2 test stores in 2 different states, because as we know, we operate all the way in Florida to Idaho. And so we wanted to pick, a state that was a little bit more colder, and one was a little bit warmer, to make sure the uniforms, are good for that. We have those 2 test stores. We're going to do a 1-month pilot. And then after that pilot, based off the feedback, if everything's good, then we'll make the changes and then roll this program out. So we're very close to having this program for everyone, and just excited about what it means for our stores, what it means for our communities, and some great looking shirts. And so we're going to have gray for on the run, the gray for the managers, and then the gold for associates, and we'll look at that, and there's some guidelines that we have to stay inside of because of on the run, but we'll look at different colors and see what works best. We definitely have heard some feedback on the gold, and so we'll work through that, but really excited about getting this rolled out, and hopefully within a few months we'll have it ready for everyone.
That'd be a great milestone in terms of retail. That'd be wonderful.
Yep. And thank you for all your help on it too. You've done a wonderful job helping kind of lead that project. So thank you.
You're welcome. No, it's good to see it underway, and it'll just be really great when it's done. I can't wait. Well, to close, let us know, what are the next areas of focus and priority on the retail front?
Great. Yeah. So one thing I think that we can't do enough of is communicate to our associates. And so, this is one reason why we're doing this retail forum, is that, there's so much going on, and it's really important that everybody knows what's going on, that everybody is part of it, not on an island. And so I really encourage the teams, it doesn't matter what your role is to make sure you're communicating, that everybody in the organization, whether you're the third level, the third shift associate, it doesn't matter what your role is. I want to make sure that what we're trying to achieve as an organization, that we hear from you and hear feedback. And so let's communicate. We have the Go Happy text, which I got to tell you really worked well for, Hurricane Ian, where we were able to communicate with our associates to make sure they were safe and give them information. And so, I think it was really important with our diversity and inclusion survey, making sure that everybody knew about it and could take it. So let's make sure that we're communicating at a very high level, whether it's, calling people, stopping by, saying hi, texting, phone, but let's make sure we're communicating that everybody knows what's going on, because, that's the only fair way that we need to make sure we include everyone. Staying safe. I still see from time to time people cutting themselves when they're opening boxes, and what really want to make sure that people are staying safe. So let's look out for each other. If you see something unsafe happening, say something. Or if you're thinking about something, stop, think through it, and make sure that it's safe, because we really want to keep everybody safe and go home to their families. Focusing on the 3 major KPIs: the store sales, store gallons, and our labor overtime. And it's really just a kind of a focus back on the basics. So taking care of our team, taking care of our customers, and then the focus on our major operational items: shrink and cash and great customer service, clean stores. If we do those basic items well, that will take care of our customer, and our customers will reward us with coming back and giving us their money because they enjoy the experience. So if we can focus on those items, I think we'll be great. And I just look forward to talking to everybody next month.
That's perfect. Wonderful closing comments and really great things to keep us all focused on in the future. Thank you so much, Jay.
Yeah, well,
With
thank
that,
you.
we'll go ahead. We'll wrap up this edition of Running on Retail. I hope it's been educational for you. I hope it's been entertaining. Hope you learned a little bit from it. And we will talk to you next month. Thank you.